guys, Debbie here. Today's video is going to be a tutorial. I wanted to create a green smoky kind of eye look today. Not done a green eyeshadow look in a long time, and I wanted to try out one more of the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palette. So today is the turn of the Pistachio, this beautiful palette here. So if you want to see that, see my first impressions of the palette as well, then please keep on watching. Okay guys, so my plan, as I say, is to do something really smoky today and use some of the deep shades in the palette. I'm sure you've all seen the beautiful colours in this palette, but that's the palette. Really want to dive more into this end of the palette today and, as I say, do a very smoked out kind of look using it. I've used the Orange Sorbet palette, but that's the only one of the four that I own that I've used so far on my channel, so really excited to use this one. I'm going to be using the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot today, so I always use the painterly one but not ever use the soft ochre, because we've got a brand new one. I'm going to give that a go, and the reason I decided this might be best, I think just with the green shades, I think it just might make them pop a little bit more. Not sure if this is going to look a bit yellow on my skin tone though, but I've heard that the formula is better on the soft ochre one than it is on the painterly one, so we will find out, because I really do like the painterly paint pot. But this one was on sale and I got it a bit cheaper, so, and I'm a cheapskate, so I decided to go for this one and try it out. Just out of curiosity really as to whether it's any better. As I say, I think it looks a bit weird on me because it's a very yellow toned compared to my pink undertone in my skin, but we'll see how the shadows go over it. I think what I'm going to do, as I say, is just stick to these four shades pretty much. I'm going to go in with Nutty first and build that up in my crease, but then deepen it with Cone or Cup. She's got that kind of green apple kind of tone to it. It's really pretty. Because I'm going to be doing a smoky eye, I'm going to be taking this in a more rounded sort of shape. I'm not doing a winged out shape at all today. Might add a little wing, you know me, I like my wings, but that's the plan anyway. And I want to take this shade fairly high. I might use a lighter blending shade just to bring it up to my brow, but loving the colour of this so far. Quite often I go in with the deepest shade first rather than laying down a transition, but decided that Cone or Cup shade is super dark, so, and my blending skills are not so good, so I thought going with a lighter shade first might be easier. So whilst I'm just building this up, how have you guys been? What have you been up to this week? It's starting to get a little bit nicer weather in the UK yesterday, although it's February and I'm filming this on Sunday, but the last weekend in February, but I was able to sit outside in the garden, albeit with a sweatshirt on, but I was out there for a couple of hours reading in the sunshine. It was beautiful. Just makes you feel like spring's on the way, which I can't wait for now. Kind of had enough of like the cold and the rain and the grey out there, you know, and just seeing everything starting to come into bloom in the garden, it just makes you feel so good. And I've been doing a lot of exercise this week, hence no videos, because I've been doing like an hour and a half every morning. It was one of you guys that recommended the channel I'm now following, but Fitness with PJ. I'll link the two videos that I've been doing, but I've been doing a video that's kind of cardio based and then a dumbbell circuit, and the two added together then come to an hour. And then I've been doing somebody different, but doing a kind of beginner's Pilates to kind of cool down and stretch out. I've been having so much fun doing it, I'm loving it. PJ is just like she says, you'll either find her super annoying or like the best friend you never knew you had, and I just find her super motivating, and just like she talks all the time, so it just like takes your mind off of like the pain of doing the exercise. And there's always modifications if you can't do certain moves, which I really appreciate that as well, because I'm not the most supple person in the world. I'm just going to take a bit of that nutty shade on my lower lash line as well, because as I say, I want this to be quite a smoked out kind of grungy look. Today is Sunday and we're going to visit my mum today. She's in a support bubble, but we haven't seen her since Christmas because she's had her vaccine, but I wanted to make sure that plenty of time had passed and she's built up some immunity. I mean, I don't go out really anyway, just for walks or once a week to the supermarket, but just don't want to risk her health because she's 83 and just want to be super careful. But she's getting so down being on her own now, I think it's actually more detrimental to not see her, and you're allowed to bubble up if you live on your own as she does, so we're not breaking any lockdown rules to go and see her. But it's a long time to not see anybody. Like, she's gone, as I say, from Christmas without seeing a soul, so 2 months of not seeing anyone. So I think she had a vaccination beginning of January, so I think we should be fine. But she won't like seeing all this makeup because I think I might have said on my channel before, she's not a fan. Just wanted to get a video up for you guys at some point this week as I've not done anything. I'm going to take a Morphe M506 and I'm going to go into cone or cup and start deepening up crease area and just above my crease as well. I love the layout of this palette, and all of these palettes. It's super easy to figure out what you want to do because the shimmer's on the top row and the mattes are on the bottom, and it's laid out light to dark, so it's really easy. I'm not really a monochromatic palette kind of person normally, but these were just so beautiful. Still not managed to get hold of the cotton candy. Unless it comes to the US site, I don't think I will. And I've not bought much at all, guys, lately. So in my video last week I did let you guys know that I picked up 2 Pat McGrath palettes, and that's all I've bought in the month of February. But when you add those 2 purchases together, it's nearly £200, so that's a lot of money to spend when you're on what's meant to be a no buy. I appreciate that. So I just really wanted to get the pink packaging for the Divine Rose, and couldn't resist the 25% off of the Subliminal, which is the Mothership one. So I think my next video will be with the Divine Rose because I really want to try it out and try out that multi-chrome shade. I think before I go any further, I'm going to lay down a base of Mars by Urban Decay, see how much of that I've used up. It's one of my favourites from them. Just think it really helps to lay down a pencil base when you're doing a strong smoky eye like this. Taking it deeper than my waterline, like onto my lower lash line as well, and I'm going to smudge it out. Not all Urban Decay pencils are created equal. This particular one's really good. I like Torch as well, which is the kind of burnt orangey kind of one. They're both ultra smudgeable like this, which makes them perfect as an eyeshadow base. If you guys want to do this technique, the 303 from Linda Hallberg is, I find, the best brush to do it with because it really grips that product and blends it out and smudges it really well. And then I'm just going to go into Cone or Cup, the deep green in the palette, and just set over that, just to make sure that that stays there all day. I'm just using the tip of like a packing brush just to do that. You could use a smudge brush as well, even a pencil brush. I'm just going to use that original brush that had the nutty shade on, just to make sure I've got that all blended. But that was literally so easy. These palettes are so good. This is so swampy and green, but there's not a single bit of fallout on my face either, which is amazing for such a dark shade as this. I think I'm going to stick with this brush. It hasn't got much product on now, and take Soft Serve, this lighter one here. Don't want to take that because that's sort of more in a bluey tone, so definitely that one I think will blend the nutty shade out. So what's that one called? Soft Serve. So just going to try and take that up a bit higher towards my brows. And I think this is the best gradient I've achieved in a while, and it's not been too difficult at all. Oh, I love green eyeshadow. Red eyeshadow is number 1 for me, and then green, and then purple, I think, and then perhaps orange. We all know where blue comes. I'm pretty low down the list, but I have been experimenting with some blue. I will have to use the Bubblegum palette next, I think. If it works as well as this one, then I think I'll have a good time with it. I pretty much want to put Crunch, this shade, all over my lid because it's stunning. So I'm going to lay down a base of NYX Glitter Primer just to really help it along. And my favourite brush is the Concealer F70 for doing this. I just find it the right shape to really get into my crease and follow the line of like my eye socket with. Next week I'm off work on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, so should be able to film quite a few videos for you guys, and my plan is to finally use the Beetlejuice collection, which I've still not even opened since I bought it. So I wanted to do a really good video with that and showcase all of the products, and it would take quite a bit of time because I want to do an overhead filming setup to show you everything that was in the PR kit. I bought the PR kit, I mean it wasn't PR, but I just wanted to show everything to you properly, and setting up the overhead kit takes a while and I just wanted the time to do it properly. Right, so let's go into Crunch then. I'm using the same brush that's already a little bit tacky from the glitter glue, and as I say, I'm just taking that pretty much everywhere where I've put that glitter glue. Oh, it is really stunning. It's got such a sheen to it. Like it's dimensional, but there's no glitter in it. Sometimes the simplest looks, just a smoky kind of look like this, nothing too complicated, no cut creases, can be the most effective, I think. Just the sheen in that shadow is just really special. And these palettes are like $18 each, which is just incredible, isn't it? Don't know why they didn't keep doing them or whether they're going to bring them back. I really hope so. I just want to use the M506, the Morphe brush, just to blend between the cone or cup shade that I'd laid earlier and this shimmer that I've laid down, the Crunch shade, just to, as I say, I don't want to make this into cut crease at all. I want to keep it as blended as I can, but I like to take my shimmers quite high because it gives that illusion that my lid's a bit bigger than it actually is. This is so murky and grungy, I love it. I'm going to take Sweet Life in my inner corner now. Again, that's super beautiful as well. That'd look gorgeous all over the lid. Just blending that slightly into the shimmer that's on my lid, that Crunch shade, and also bringing it onto my lower lash line a little bit. I always think that looks the best when doing an inner corner highlight rather than just plonking it into the inner corner. Okay guys, so this is the look to this point, super easy. I'm just going to hop off camera for a touch of black wing liner, mascara, and choose a lip for the look, and I'll be right back with you to show you the finished look. Okay guys, here's the finished look. Really love it. I think I've not gone as deep and dramatic and smoky with a green eyeshadow look in the longest time, and it was so simple to do but highly striking, I think you'll agree. And as I say, just so easy. I think part of the reason it was so easy is just how well these shadows perform. There's minimal kick up in the mattes, but they're super pigmented. And there's a range of shades that really allows you to get that gradient really easily, even if you're not a master at blending. I'm certainly not, and I think it's come out really well. I think it's nice having a shimmer that's as dark as that, and then having a really deep matte shade to complement it if you want to do a smoky eye, because that really brings that intensity. And the shimmers are just highly reflective, but they're not glittery. They're really special. So yeah, I think this will probably be my favourite of the four of them that I have, but I do have the cherry on top, and I think that could trump it because I love cherry and red kind of burgundy shades. But yeah, really impressed with this one. I think there's 3 palettes left in this range on the US site. There was the last time I looked. So if you're on the fence at all, and I think these are not new by any means, if you were going to get it, you've probably got it already, but if you were on the fence and you want to treat yourself, at $18, they're incredible quality, guys. Really, really good. And as I say, I didn't think I would enjoy a monochromatic palette as much as I am with these. But I think there's still quite a lot you can do with it because of the range from light to dark. I can still see some looks like it. I mean, even pastel kind of looks for the summer with these ones at this end, you know. I think you can take it in quite a few directions for only being 8 shades and all being of a similar colour family as such, because this one's a bit more bluey in tone, and as I say, you've got some more pastel-y shades in there as well. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. And I finished off the look with a black eyeliner, just the NYX Epic Ink Liner. Ended up a bit bigger than I perhaps wanted it to, because that's what happens. And then I've got an Oden's eye lipstick. This is Red Apple. I wanted a red lipstick with it, but I didn't want to go for like a Christmas red, because red and green together you're going to get that Christmas vibe. But this has got that red apple tone to it, and I think it really works. So for blush today, in case you wanted to know, I'm using the Sarahan Blush Volume 2. Don't use this nearly enough, and every time I do use it, I have such a good time with it, and it's really affordable and really good. I used the shade Tau today, which is probably the sort of shade you'd think to use at kind of Halloween time, but I just thought an orangey shade of blush goes really well with green eyeshadow, and I've used at quite a high placement. Always think that helps with a shade that's a little bit deeper than kind of I normally would go for. And just to top off that blush and give it a bit of glow, always like a glowy blush, gone in with this Pixi by Petra highlighter, but I've used the more orangey tone shade of the two. I normally use that one, but just thought this was perfect as a blush topper. And there's 2 colourways of these duos like this, I believe. This one is Subtle Sunrise, but highly recommend this, really good. So yeah, so that's the look today. Hope you enjoyed seeing it come together, and I know it's nothing groundbreaking, but sometimes they can be the most effective looks, you know. You don't have to spend hours and hours kind of doing cut creases and multiple colour combinations to make a really striking look. So, but as I say, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and if you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you might consider subscribing before you go. But other than that, guys, hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are. Keep safe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.